Hi friends, Treasuring Joy Tuesday. So I was at a gathering this morning with some friends and we were kind of in a circle talking with each other, wondering, can you actually tell whether or not we're smiling? Especially with all these masks on everywhere. And so we're just like giving each other evil eyes and smiling eyes and angry eyes and just kind of like trying to be expressive with each other. But I mean, bottom line, the whole conversation started just with like, we just don't want to wear these anymore. And I unintentionally did a little bit of an experiment as I walk around Target, and I get to the checkout line, and of course I'm wearing this thing over there, and the gentleman checking out my items is just kind of looking down, and he's like, "Hello ma'am, how are you?" And what I did was I said, "Thank you sir, I'm doing well, how are you?" And the gentleman looked up. And the thing is like, we're like this, and we made eye contact immediately. Like, what was interesting about this, it wasn't like a huge monumental difference, but I could tell there was a slight posture change in him. And all of a sudden, the demeanor of his entire body went like, it was like surprise at first, because I don't think anybody has been nice to him all day. And all of a sudden we made eye contact, and you could tell that I was at least smiling, or at least a nice person. And he was like, "Oh, thank you. Like, I'm doing good." And honestly, I don't remember the whole thing. It all happened very fast. I didn't have a lot of items, but the entire transaction, you could just tell he had a little bit more of a pep in his step with just like getting, scanning things, putting them in the bag. And when he handed me the receipt, he looked me in the eye and says, "Ma'am, I hope you have a great day." And I said, "Thank you, sir. I hope you do too." And he's like, "Thank you." And then like what he did was he turned over to the next woman who was standing behind me, and he was like, "Hello, ma'am, how are you?" And the lady was like, "I'm good," putting her aside. And then all of a sudden, that posture immediately left the gentleman, and he proceeded to just, do the transaction. And I thought it was so interesting how like a very small, like, I don't know how long it was, like 45 seconds to a minute of interaction, how our interaction completely altered the entire state of his mindset and being and his overall behavior towards me. I think we've lost the art of just the concept being nice, because I think that what happens when we are putting on these masks, I don't know very many people that actually like wearing these. And I think that depending on what state you live, you've got mask Nazis everywhere, and wherever it is that you stand on the mask thing, I don't care. That's not what this video is about. What it's about though is that I think that what this is doing is that before we get any interaction with other people as we're putting this on, we are getting a little bit frustrated, like, "Oh, this is so annoying." And what that does is it actually releases the chemical cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And what that does is that we get a buildup of cortisol, and then we go interact with people. And we know, if you just read the news and look on social media, we know that the interaction between people is just horrible. However, did you know that a smile releases another chemical called endorphins, which is the happy emotion? And so if we can even just force ourselves to smile as we're putting on our mask, even if it's just used sarcastically, what it does is it almost tricks your brain into thinking that it's happy, even though it's a little bit annoyed with having to put this on. But if you can intentionally build up endorphins to go into a store or into a gathering as you're wearing your mask, it can completely alter the mood. And I think that it's important that we just recognize the power that we have when we're interacting with one another. A simple smile and eye contact goes a long way, but when you pair that with "how are you," it can totally make somebody's day. And so I just want to encourage you, put your mask on with a smile, look people in the eye, and greet them with a hello and a farewell. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I'll see you next week.